I don't know if it's any bigger of a problem now than it's been over the last 5, 6, 7 years. But here's the thing. We know the NBA is about to get involved with gambling. And so now you cannot have any thought, perception, whatever out there that your games are fixed. Not fixed, but that one team's not trying.
Right.
So you have to eliminate that completely. And look, we all understand what Mark Cuban was saying. Look, we're better off if we lose and get a high draft pick. But you can't say that publicly. And I don't want to hear from people that, hey, he was just being honest. I'd rather him put it out there. Because what if he was over the trade deadline looking to trade Dennis Smith Jr. and, you know, some of his other players, Harrison Barnes? Would he be honest in an interview and say, yeah, you know, we were talking about trading Dennis Smith? No, there's some things you don't have to lie, but just keep under wraps. You don't put all of your business in the streets. And an NBA team cannot put all of its business in the streets.
And by the way, Cuban said something similar to this last year. Got a very harsh warning from Adam Silver. Adam Silver didn't fine him for it, but he was asked about it. He was like, listen, I've talked to Mark. It can't be done. So he gave him a pass the first time, and then this time hit him for the $600,000.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, I think tanking, that's one reason that they're cracking down so much. I actually have a proposal. It's got some holes in it, but something I think could end tanking, no question. What if the 14 teams that don't make the playoffs played a one-and-done tournament where the winning team got the #1 pick? And most people would say, well, the 9th place team in the West, who just barely missed the playoffs, would have a huge advantage over all the other teams, especially the ones who are the worst in the league. However, in a 7-game series, that would be true.
But in a one-and-done.
One-and-done, anything can happen. Sacramento beat Golden State this year. Brooklyn almost beat Cleveland the other night. One-and-done, everybody would have a shot in that system.
And the reason I don't think you could do exactly that is I think you would have a team this year. You might have Miami, Pat Riley, say, listen, guys, we might be better off missing the playoffs to try to win that tournament. But if you did something like that where all the teams who missed the lottery, who missed the playoffs, pardon me, have the same lottery odds, and then the tournament gets you extra ping pong balls. You know what I mean? You could do something like that because then you wouldn't want to miss the playoffs just for additional ping pong balls, but it would give you an incentive. Now, I do want to also let the audience know that thinks tanking is this scourge that's going to affect the league a ton moving forward. This is a very unique season for a number of reasons. First of all, this is the last year before lottery reform goes into place. So in the coming years, having the worst record in the league doesn't come with a 25% chance of getting the #1 pick anymore. Everyone's down to like 14%.
The top three worst records will all have 14%.
Exactly. So 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter if you're the worst, second worst, or third worst, and it's down from 25% to 14%. Also, why is this year unique? You have 6 potential studs coming into the league when usually you have 1, maybe 2, at most 3. And lastly, it's because there are these 8 teams that are all so congested at the bottom. There is not one team that's far and away worse than everybody this year. You have Chicago, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Orlando, Dallas, Phoenix, Memphis, Sacramento. All 8 of those teams have either 18, 19, or 20 wins. So you're looking at it, you're like, man, 1 win could be the difference between having the best chance at the first pick and having the 7th pick and missing out on those 6 guys. It's a perfect storm for this tankapalooza that we're going to deal with the next 6 weeks.
Well, and here's the thing. Look, tanking does not work. Everybody is looking at Philadelphia, and Sam Hinkie obviously tanked famously, and saying it works. And for them, it probably did, okay, for one team. But how long has Phoenix been in the lottery? Last like 7 years. Hadn't helped them. Sacramento. I mean, Charlotte, Orlando. I can go down the line with teams that have been in the lottery for several years and are still bad. And since this current process has been in place, which has been close to 30 years, this lottery system as it is today, only 6 times has the team with the worst record gotten the #1 pick.
Are we making too big of the problem? If you take gambling out of it, is tanking really just sort of a PR problem for Adam Silver? Is it an economic problem, really?
The problem becomes if players are not trying to win. It is not a problem to me if a team such as Chicago is saying, listen, we are going to, we might have a better veteran. Dallas, let's just take Dallas for a minute. Listen, Dirk, you are probably better than the guy backing you up. But because we don't really care if we win, and we are going to take advantage of this bad year in order to get more reps for our young players, I got no problem with that. What I would have a problem with is if Sacramento's playing Memphis, and at the end of the game, it's a close game, and Sacramento's coach calls time and is like, guys, here's the play. We're going to turn it over. And you know what I mean? You can't have that. You can't have coaches or players, once they're on the court, not trying to win the basketball.
I also would have a problem if Mark Cuban, because he said he talked to his guys. Now, we don't know if that were front office guys
or his
coaches
players.
or his players. I have a problem if you're talking to players about losing. If you let them know we should lose, it's best for us to lose, because one, it creates a losing culture in your franchise. Your players know you don't care, so it takes their spirits down, and other players don't want to go there. In Philadelphia, agents did not want their players to sign with the Sixers. The way you tank is, as you said, we're bad. I want to see what our young guys can do.
Yeah.
Let's see who's a keeper and who's not.
All right, to be discussed, continued. Coming up, will John Elway swing and miss?